Hello and welcome to the first ever Save the Chat podcast with me, Michael Coburn. I'm about to be joined by my co-hosts, Michael Boccolini and Steve Hodgetts. They're in LA. I'm in London. We're going to do this podcast every week, talking about all things film and TV. Usually we're going to pick every week an episode of something or a film or a TV series in general, and we're going to talk about it. A little bit of a disclaimer up front. I bought a podcast microphone. I will be sending it back. I sound like I'm at the bottom of a well. But those guys sound very cool and very slick. All right, with that said, here we go.
In age order, we'll do it. Michael Boccolini and Steve Hodgetts. I didn't want to
start from young first, but
I didn't want to take any preference, so I went age order.
regardless, they will still know I'm the oldest one, so neither would work for me.
So, let's give people a little bit of an intro on why the hell we're doing this. Do you guys go first?
Well, Steve is doing the taxes at the moment.
I'm just doing the annual returns.
Yeah.
God, we're starting on the paperwork very early.
I can read them out if you like. There's very dull numbers.
Please
Save them for later.
Yeah.
We're doing it because we talked about doing this for a long time, very long time. And then essentially because, films are cool. We have an opinion, and ideally everyone listens.
If anyone is listening who doesn't know who we are, at the moment I'm guessing it's just our mums. Even though actually, I haven't actually told my mum. Have you guys told your mum?
My mum said she's almost certainly won't be listening to this.
She's not interested.
So, no.
So we have 0 listeners at the moment, but just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case, we are going to be chatting about film, TV. We're going to pick a film or an episode of a TV series or a TV series in general every week. We're going to talk about it. Why should people listen to us? Is the next question.
It's a very hard question to answer.
Yeah,
because
it's not that we're complete newbies. We have some experience in the field. You guys are. What would you categorize yourself primarily as now? Producers?
Producers, probably.
Experts.
Yeah.
I would put
General film people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an expert as well. And you guys have also acted and directed and written various things.
We have it with you as well.
We also did a feature film together, yeah.
Indeed. Made a film called Love Possibly. Check it out on Amazon Prime.
With all the lovely festivals. We were very fortunate enough to win a couple.
How many did we win? We won like 48 festivals at the end, didn't we?
Over 60, but...
Over 60.
At least one of those 60 was a festival that was really in someone's bedroom. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we took them all, and they feel good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit of an insight for anyone wanting to make a film. You can win festivals.
You can, but just don't. There are lots and lots of online ones, like Michael says, in the bedroom, like the Northeastern Alaskan B-class Gold Platinum Awards, which doesn't seem to get a lot of press, but it looks good on the poster.
Exactly. And you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And he got into Rain Dance, which was pretty good, and got an audience encore thing. No, we did well with it. And which is why we came here, and we had a production company here that wanted to do a series, and we were like, we're going to be rich. We're going to be rich. So
you guys are rich now.
Sorry?
You're rich now?
Yeah, on the way.
Yeah?
It's just right around the corner, man.
Sick. Nice.
That's why I'm doing the annual company returns, because there's so much cash coming through that it's important to stay on top of the numbers.
Yeah.
So just to give people a flavor of you guys, I've devised 3 questions.
Oh, cool.
Which are all film related, and I don't want you to think too hard about them.
I'm already thinking.
So yeah. What is your name? The first question, or start We'll do the reverse order this time. We'll start with Steve. Steve,
Oh God.
if you could pick any character from any film ever to be, who would it be? Not to play, to be.
To be in
What
my
jumps out at you?
daily life, all of my favorite characters have very, very dangerous professions, but
Interesting.
they're very, very cool at the same time, unlike me. So I'd probably choose, because he has a little bit of office job and a little bit of action, Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
good one.
Because he has the warmth of his
Yeah.
little Harvard office, so he
Yeah.
stays in there to read the books and have some fun and do some teaching, and then he goes and
Yeah.
fights the Nazis occasionally.
Good one. That's a good one. So you want to only fight Nazis occasionally, ideally.
I don't want to fight Nazis 24/7.
All
Not
the
all
time.
the time, yeah,
Well,
Just
that's
when
too
I
much.
fancy it or I'm kidnapped.
Yeah.
You know when you get really angry at home and then you just feel like, revenge. That's the time.
Exactly, because you could let out. You don't need to do sort of workouts at the gym to let out the sort of stress and the energies. You just fight
Yeah,
the Nazis, and also if you find something of worth, an archaeological piece, then nice bit of claim. You could sell it to a museum, make some more
Yeah,
cash.
It's such a specific job, isn't it? Killing Nazis and finding fossils.
It is.
You get to Sean Connery's your dad. It's not bad.
Absolutely.
He's a bit of a fool, but that's funny.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael. What would you say?
I think the Adam West Batman.
The Adam West Batman.
Yeah, because even though the later Batmans were cooler, the Adam West Batman would have a spray for anything, right? So he could literally get the newer Batmans. He would get himself into trouble sometimes. You know, he wasn't perfect. The Adam West Batman, he was only human, but he got
Yes.
himself out. If there was a bomb, he would take it and run out, and then
yeah.
maybe lie on top. Yeah,
That's a good one,
Okay,
actually.
that's also a good
yeah.
one.
Fight bad guys, get to wear lycra. Very fun.
Imagine you're a blind person experiencing Adam West as Batman, and you just hear what happens.
Yeah.
He would sound amazing.
Yeah, that's
Also,
actually true.
he was one of those guys that all the girls liked, but he was almost asexual, which made
Yeah,
the
it's
girls
true.
like him even more.
What was Adam West's mode of transportation? Presumably it was the Batmobile. What did it look like? Was it a silly
Batmobile.
Oh,
cartoon Batmobile? Or was
It
it...
wasn't silly and it wasn't cheap. You guys keep
It was
saying these
silly.
things. It was a very nice car. It looked like lightning. Do you remember that? The new one is like
Yeah.
smooth and like
yeah.
low and cool. This one
That's
was a little bit
amazing.
more rigid.
It looked like a Cadillac, right?
It was basically a Cadillac. To be honest.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you're right.
That's
Yes,
very
exactly. But it looks like it's going fast, and also because of the practical effects, if I remember, it had a real flame that shot out the back when
That's
the Batmobile's like exiting the Batcave, right?
Why though? Is the question.
Practical effects. I guess because it makes it go faster, even though if I remember, it looks like it's going about 3 miles an hour when it does.
It's
that.
not going quick, but it's fucking cool. I'll tell you that.
And then I think what they did is they sped up the film so it looks like the Batmobile is like zooming through the streets.
Yeah, yeah.
That was amazing.
Also, it's got a little... there's actually a little separation here between Batman and Robin. So they can't actually see each other when they're driving. So if they have a falling out,
Interesting. Yeah.
this little partition actually is very practical.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's like putting
So
one of those
spend a lot of
big
time.
cushions in the bed, so you don't have to talk to each other.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
when you've been married for 50 years.
And Robin was
answer.
soft. He was kind, but he could still kick ass, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you'd like to have like a soft and kind sidekick.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest reason I want to be Batman, Adam West's Batman.
Can we echo that question back to you, Coben? Or are these for us?
Oh God. I hadn't anticipated the throwing back to me. Any character from any thing ever. I'll go with something a bit more like realistic. The characters that I've seen where I've thought, shit, that's me in another life, is probably one of the Flight of the Conchords. Probably
honest.
Brett
I like
in Flight
that.
of the Conchords, you know?
Which
and I
one?
sort of like, I've Brett probably. I sort of find their life a little bit romantic anyway, so it's not all bad. But like
Yeah.
being like a kind of broke musician in New York, playing gigs and stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I like
So
the
it's
idea
basically
of like duo.
your life. It's just your life as a broke
But in
musician
New York.
instead of broke filmmaker, and in New York.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's
like
cool.
I can actually play music well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not even that well. It's a very
Yeah.
unambitious
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. But maybe ours are too ambitious. Maybe yours is just very fair and realistic because it's quite a normal
Well,
life, I suppose.
We should make a sketch where we all get to wish, and then we get into the same room. You're Indiana Jones. I'm Batman. Adam West.
Yeah.
And then you're just you
Brett.
really, but you can
The
play
same,
music.
but with a guitar.
Yeah. Also, I like the New Zealand accent, so I think that's
Right,
it's
fair
a
enough.
nice smooth accent to have. So I'd like that. Okay, moving on to the next question. They're actually the second two are not as good, so maybe we'll speed through these. Okay, if you could have one piece of film memorabilia in your house, anything from any film, and it doesn't matter about not for the cost. No, you're not going to sell it. You're just going to have it in your house to show people. It's going to be something from Adam West Batman, isn't it?
It is.
The Batmobile.
Okay. I'll
Shit,
do the
the
second best. No, I'm joking. Probably the biggest would be the flamingo costume from The Office.
Really?
The one
I
where
actually
David
don't
Brent
know.
gets fired.
Yeah, he's wearing it's Red Nose Day comic relief, and he's dressed up as a flamingo. And they tell him that he's fired, and it's probably one of the best pieces of comedy of all time.
That's
the
good.
flamingo suit.
How about you, Steve?
Well, it's actually quite boring because it's just a box. But it's basically the trunk it's John Candy's trunk from Planes, Trains and
Oh.
Automobiles. And the only reason I chose that is because it's probably my favourite film of all time. And I like
Is it?
the trunk. And I would just store various bits and pieces in it. Or use it as some sort of coffee table in the living room. But it would just remind me of the film. I think it'd be nice. And extra storage as well, so it's practical.
It's true.
Filmmakers seem to often reference that as like one of their favorites.
So good.
I've heard people
Yeah.
talk about it.
It's, I mean, people watch it a lot over here in Thanksgiving because it's commonly
Oh, do
mistaken
they?
for a Christmas film, but it's actually Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I don't know, John Candy, the ending is just gut wrenching and it just gets me every time. And obviously, any comedy with Steve Martin is
Yeah.
the best.
Okay, so that's John Candy and Steve Martin. Anyone else big?
Kevin Bacon appears for a very
yeah,
quick
yeah,
cameo
yeah.
at the beginning when he's
Wow.
they're both chasing a taxi in New York, other sides of the street. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if anyone else famous is in that. Oh, a very young Culkin. Is it Rory Culkin or Macaulay Culkin?
Really?
No, shit. I'm thinking. No, it's the kid in Mrs. Doubtfire. The bowl cut kid in Mrs. Doubtfire is the
Really?
little kid in Planes, Trains. Yeah.
Wow. It went downhill from there. We never saw him
Oh yeah,
again, do we?
yeah. He didn't make the transition, unfortunately,
Shame.
from child to adult. I think physically
Nice.
he's still alive, but it's more acting career-wise.
It can be deadly. It can be deadly. Puberty is.
Yeah.
Okay, final one. It's a very simple one. It's essentially Desert Island Film. Now, the weird thing about this is it's not going to be your favorite, because I was having a conversation with someone the other day about this. The film that you think is maybe the best film is probably not the film that you've seen the most.
Right.
And that's
yeah, I
definitely the
agree.
case with me, which is weird because you think the film you've seen the most is the film that you think is the best film. But then it's a bit embarrassing a lot of the
pleasures.
time. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I would say the film I've probably seen the most in my life is Fellowship of the Ring. But if you ask me
Right.
if it's the best made film ever, I don't know. Probably not.
Right.
Something you think you could watch over and over again without going mad, basically, I guess is the theme.
That's weird because when you explained that made sense, your last point. But actually, Planes, Trains is also the film I've seen the most and what I would take. However, because I've already said that, I would take a second.
Okay.
And I would probably take, because it makes me laugh so much and brings me joy, so I could rewatch it, and I have rewatched it, is A Shot in the Dark, which is the second Pink Panther, Peter Sellers.
Nice.
Because his character, I am filled with joy and smiles every time I see him just try and solve a crime.
Is that the one where he does that amazing like vault down the stairs and there's that armor, that suit of armor?
I think
and
that's
he gets the
one of
glove
the.
stuck on him.
I think that's one of the other ones. Shot in the Dark, he gets stuck in the sauna. There's when the maid is. It's very, very funny.
He's in the mountain? No.
So the first one, weirdly, was like with David Niven. He was just a side character, Peter Sellers. He was just a little subplot. And then they realised that he was the main focus, and he was the funniest thing about it. So in the second and until the seventh, it was just him.
Right.
But the first one, I think, was the skiing, with the skiing holiday.
Oh, that's the one.
Yes,
Yeah. Very
is there
funny.
A lot of Kato, is there a lot of Kato action in the second one?
A little bit, yeah. You mean his assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
where
bit.
they have the fight. That was always my favourite bit about this.
Yeah,
film,
his
when they have
unexpected fights.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he does a classic falling into the fountain a couple of times.
But he does it so well.
Very well.
So well.
Okay, cool. That's your desert. What about you, Michael?
Well, okay, first of all, I want to say I'm neither British or American. So I grew up with some other foreign films, as you guys like to call them.
Yeah.
Swedish, Italian. So my favorite film is a film called Torsk på Tallen.
Oh, yeah. I remember you showing me this.
Yeah, and it's basically about a bunch of guys that are incredibly lonely that go to Estonia to find a wife. Sounds seedy when I say it, but it's very sweet and it's incredibly funny and it's a mockumentary.
So this was the original inspiration for a little bit for Love Possibly then?
Indeed.
So just as a let's go back a second, because people will be wondering now, when you say you're not English or American, what would you say you are? Because you're a mix of things, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm half Swedish, half Italian, but I grew up in Norway and France. And then I lived in London for 10 years. Yeah.
Nice. Very unusual.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I grew up with British, and American entertainment, like the rest of the world, because normally the entertainment sucks wherever you come from compared to British and American entertainment. But there's a couple of things, and that's one of them.
I second the Norwegian and Swedish that Michael has shown me. If people haven't seen, obviously it's tough because a lot of them aren't subtitled, but I think a lot of subtitle comedy is around. Probably got to go to an old DVD shop, but they are hilarious.
Well, I'm a big fan of, recently anyway, a big fan of Norwegian comedy in the form of, you know what I'm talking about?
Norseman.
Norseman, yeah.
Norseman, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved that so much.
Yeah.
I could not get enough of that. If that is a taste of Norwegian humor, it's amazing.
It is.
And I would recommend anyone go and watch that if you haven't yet. Norseman.
Yeah, it should still be on Netflix. It's completely dubbed, so it's all in. There's an English version. We're very similar to you guys. I don't know. Actually, I think we are closer in terms of sensibilities than with Americans, because it's all about shitting on yourself all the time, as well as you can.
Yeah.
And we're pretty dark and depressing.
Yeah, it's very downbeat.
Yeah.
Very sort of flat delivery, which I
That's
find
it.
hilarious.
Absurdist.
Yeah.
There's one, is it Norwegian sketch people can check out on YouTube? Is it Pentagon, the Norwegians?
Swedish, yeah.
Sorry, Pentagon is Swedish.
Yeah.
It's Pentagon Snooker. That sketch is in English because they were satirizing the English snooker commentary and all that. And that is very funny. That's on YouTube, yeah. I always watch that.
Okay, well, I think that's enough of an intro. That gives people a flavor.
Yeah. Again, when you say people, who
Well, like I said, this is not people now. This is potential future people
Right.
who might they'll probably catch like episode 50 and they'll be like, oh, I wonder what episode 1 sounded like. And what you know.
And they'll roll back to this one. Good stuff.
But so what we're normally going to do is talk about a film or a episode of TV or a TV series. We've chosen this week Glass Onion. Now we're a little bit late to the party on this one, but I feel like there's quite a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
So that's fine, and I am genuinely interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this film. And if I'm right, Steve, you saw Knives Out, his previous one, and Michael Buckley, you haven't seen it yet.
No.
Which is good, because I'm wondering from this film alone whether you would watch another one of these.
You asking me now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
We're going straight there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I not interested. Not a fan. And in fact, Furious is too much, but
Really?
close. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That-
Because I just feel like I've missed Edward Norton, and then
Yeah.
he's doing this. That's how I describe the whole film. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They lent into the comedy quite a lot. I mean, a lot of the characters are very silly, and of course, the plot is ridiculous. Nothing about it is sort of serious, is it really?
No.
It
No,
is
which is-
definitely more comedy than anything else.
This is the thing that bothered me, I think, the most, because I am a big fan of the murder mystery genre, and the reason I like Knives Out is because I felt like that was a nice reinvention of the murder mystery genre, modernizing it a little bit, but still it's got that old school, one location, big casts. You learn
Yeah.
all the dynamics between people. In that one, it was a family, a rich family, and you know, and I felt like I cared about the mystery and who died and why and who was going to get caught or not. And in this one, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It took
Right.
a very long time to get going.
Yeah.
There was a hell of a lot of setup. All these characters had to sort of be introduced for a long time, and nothing really started going until sort of half an hour, 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
Lots of let's get to the island and chit chat.
And also, who is the main person we're following? As in an old school whodunit, and I was talking like prior Hitchcock, you would still have someone that you're following, like a Poirot, fucking Poirot. You know what I mean? You at
Whoa.
least he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then he'll figure it out. But this guy is like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, oh, no, I know everything. And then I feel stupid. And I had no chance getting there. That's what pisses me off the most.
Yeah.
There's not enough clues to get there on your own. So it's
Yeah.
more like gotcha
Yeah.
than a whodunit.
Yes, I agree with that. The twists are very much gotcha, like, and also stuff that you don't really. There's no real setup, and you don't care. Like, why would you care that somebody is actually somebody's twin when you never knew the original person anyway?
That's it.
And don't care why they died.
There was a
very
hell of a lot
weird.
of not caring.
Yeah,
That's very true.
and you're right.
That's a review.
Maximum not
That's a
care.
review.
Yeah.
It's not a review you want from a film.
Yeah, no.
No.
You ideally do want people to care from as early as possible in order
Well,
to
what's
keep
confused
following.
me a little bit is that it's got very good. It's been very well reviewed. So I feel like either I'm missing something. Maybe I'll have
I
to watch it
find
again.
with these modern reviews of things, you know, I think it's possibly Ryan Johnson lovers / Knives Out cult.
Has to
We've
be.
sort of people who loved the first one who went, yeah, it's brilliant, it's so clever and smart.
Yeah.
It's the same mentality I think we have at the moment with Jordan Peele's
Yeah.
film number 2 and 3. I feel like there's a Jordan Peele is so smart,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, I didn't understand it. I'm not going to admit that I don't understand it, but it's
Yeah.
so clever, and I'm not
Yes.
even going to say it's shit because I didn't understand it. I'm just going to say it's brilliant.
You're absolutely right. Imagine a musician, right? In the same thing, but a musician. So make amazing, because the Knives Out was pretty decent, right? I haven't seen it, but I assume. Fingers crossed.
It was pretty good, yeah. I would
So,
actually recommend you go and see that.
Yeah, no, and I will. But imagine a musician did that. Great album. And then you see him out, oh my God, just check him out. And then you're at a concert, you just brought your friend, and then he says, meh, meh.
Yeah.
Would you then keep going, oh, it's so good. No, you would say it's shit because it's obviously shit.
Right.
With the film, you can get away with something, and if it's corruption, I don't know, but it is mad. Is it actually up for Oscars?
Oh, good question.
It's a good question. If we had in the
think
future
it
when we have
was-
our researcher, we'll be able to check this stuff out
Yeah.
straight away.
We'll have to check.
Megan?
quickly. I think
Let's
it was.
quickly check now. Yeah.
It was. There was a Golden Globe nomination, I believe, but I don't think it won anything.
It was also nominated for Critic Choice
Critics'
Awards. Yeah.
Well, okay, but let's come at it from this angle then. I did think, and I'll ask you guys, do you think there are any performances that you enjoyed, regardless of like any of the plot?
Well, I think that's the only reason why I thought it was sort of even just slightly enjoyable was actually just some of the characters were quite wacky. I really liked who's I'm forgetting his name, the guy, the big dude with tattoos. I thought he was quite funny.
Oh, well, you can refer to the one page, which presumably you have as
Yeah, we have that as a
you
background
have that
actually.
to
Yeah.
hand.
Oh yeah, that guy. There we go.
Just go
This
on
guy.
there.
Quick fact check insert here. The character Steve was thinking of is Duke Cody, who is an influencer played by Dave Bautista.
And just click
He's
on
quite
that.
entertaining. I also, anytime I'm watching Daniel Craig that isn't James Bond, I'm always just intrigued by his performance because he's
He
he's
is
so James Bond
hypnotising,
for
isn't
me.
it?
And when he's doing the
Yeah.
accent and everything, and he's playing such a because he had some interesting lines and he's got some great like comedy chops to him actually.
Yeah.
But so I found that entertaining alone, just him not being Bond. If that makes sense.
I agree.
Well,
And yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Was he amazing? He was certainly the only one I remember.
Yeah.
I remember being angry at Edward Norton, but as a filmmaker, you know what he's doing. He just been doing James Bond. He's about to end his career. He's saying to his agent, "I want to try something new."
Yeah.
Is he from? Right?
So East
He's
London.
Cockney.
Yeah. or comedy.
I didn't know
And then,
that.
yeah. He's from East London.
Amazing.
From
Born and bred, I think.
Yeah, so I think
yeah.
you're right. He's like but weirdly, I suspect that a guy like Benoit Blanc is maybe closer to the real Daniel Craig than the James Bond character.
Going by interviews, I would probably agree. Only
Yeah.
just though. I suppose has his own accent and he's not as silly, but he is lighter than Bond, yeah, in real life.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Original production for Knives Out was Lionsgate, subsequently bought by Netflix, who outbid Amazon and Apple for the rights to that and other sequels, paying $469 million.
Bloody hell.
So,
It's not worth that, is it?
so essentially, they already paid it, and then they went, "Okay, can I have another one?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah.
And then he made it.
Just give me a second to think about the plot. But
Yeah, that's gonna be so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it? I guess.
I just saw that Daniel Craig was actually nominated for a Golden Globe. Glass
Fuck
Onion.
me, man.
Best
He was.
actor in a musical or comedy nomination.
That's nuts.
Which is a bit crazy.
That's annoying. That's an insult to comedy, with all due respect.
It
He
is a
was
little bit.
funny. One of the most interesting bits about the film, and I really liked him. But this was like for him to have some fun, and we all witnessed it. You're done being James Bond. You want to do something fun. We all saw it. Were you great? No, but you did it.
Right.
All good. Fuck off.
in the leagues of comedy performances in film, no, it's not even. It doesn't even touch some of the performances of past or even of the year.
John
gone
Candy
by.
would turn in his grave.
Hey, what do you think he is?
Well, because the weird thing is, maybe he's got a few nice comedy moments, but he's not a natural comedian.
No.
Like, and if that's supposed to be a comedic part, this is what I don't get about the whole difference with Knives Out. I found in the beginning of Knives Out, I thought that was a brilliant intro to any character. I don't know if you remember, but he's just at the back of the room when they're being interviewed about the murder. And every time, and he's sitting next to the piano, and every time somebody says something that he thinks is a lie, he just hits a note on the piano,
Right.
and it freaks them out, and they're just being interviewed by a regular
Wow,
detective.
that's good.
And so they ended up getting freaked out, and they're like, and then who's this guy? Who's this fucking guy in the background? What is it? What's going
Yeah.
on? And then he's just like, oh, don't worry about me. I'm just a, you know.
Yeah, he has
So
some
I thought-
mystique, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought that was
Excellent
brilliant.
Southern accent, by the way. I just
Oh,
want to
thank
say
you.
that.
The accent today is tremendous, I have to say.
Yeah.
Well,
Arguably
I mean-
better than his.
I based mine on his.
Fair enough.
But he,
arguably
but he
better.
is supposed to be, if I'm right, he's supposed to be from Louisiana, that character. And I wonder,
Oh, you can tell
I
straight
really
away.
want to talk to someone from Louisiana and see what they think of that accent, you know?
We should get someone on
Oh,
from
that's
Louisiana just to do a little review of the accent and just see.
Well,
what
maybe because we're going to
authenticity-
have some call-ins later, so maybe maybe someone from Louisiana will be kind enough
Yeah.
to call in and
Yeah.
let us know
Yeah.
what they
That's
think of
possible.
Daniel Craig's accent.
Yeah, sounds good.
I don't know how we've got call-ins because nobody knows about us yet, but it's just amazing. The technology.
I actually put some business cards just on like lampposts and stuff.
Oh,
so
nice.
there
That's good.
should be.
Well, thank God you did that because I'm just looking at the system here and we've already got some calls queued.
That's incredible.
Oh, amazing.
Whenever they're ready.
Fantastic.
They've
Well,
been
let's
very
get-
patient as well.
Right.
Let's get to those ASAP. Let's see what else we can.
Yeah.
say
Hugh Grant
about this
pops
film.
up for a second, doesn't he? As his husband.
yeah.
He does. I'd forgotten that. I had forgotten that. Yeah.
It's bizarre. That phone call must have been strange. Like, hey man, do you mind you'll be Daniel Craig's husband. You're not together in a scene. You're just at the door. For
Yeah,
sort
just
of
at the door.
a minute. Do you want to come in and?
We had
100,000?
actually a similar proposition to John Cleese in our film, to be fair.
We did. That's so true. It's
Yeah.
exactly what we did.
Can you play a gay fellow? But the gay fellow just pops up.
Well, while we're on that, I want to ask you guys quickly about that because I just realised I haven't asked you about that in a long time. Is that done now? Your film, or do you want to sort of say anything about it? What the name is? When it's gonna drop?
Yeah, it's called How to Make a Cheat. It's basically about a guy who's been cheated on his wedding rehearsal. He's dying to get married because he's very afraid of being alone. And when he gets a new fiance and there might be something fishy going on, he sets on a quest to try and find out and kind of manipulate her to get into a situation where she could cheat to find out if she would.
And this is written by both of you,
Yeah,
directed by you, Michael, and starring you, Steve. Is that correct?
directed by me and Che Grant.
And Che, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And written by me and Steve, but Anna Barbara in general, I'd say, as well.
Okay. And so yes, and that's also important to mention. That's you're a directing duo on Love Possibly as well.
Correct. Me and Che, yeah.
And we've got some lovely sort of cameos, you could call them, but there's a few more chunkier parts. Mr. John Cleese features
Fantastic.
as Ollie's father, his gay father. We've got Megan McKenna of British fame. I don't know if you remember her from the Towie days. She's actually very good at acting.
She's
You're probably
arguably
thinking
one of the
now,
best.
why on earth would you get her in?
Yeah.
She's very
Is
good.
she good? Is she very good?
She's
Okay.
very good. She's
And that's
very, very good.
all. Is that in post still, or?
Yeah. So
Okay.
editing right now, and we're aiming to have something presentable for the Berlin Film Festival and Market, which is in February,
Nice.
and then release as soon as they buy it, brother.
Well, I mean, well, I guess we better move on. But I would like to ask you more about that at some point because I read an early version of the script and I absolutely loved it. So I'd like to see the
thank
finished
you.
version.
It's for all those individuals who have ever been cheated on or have been thought about being cheated on or who have cheated or who haven't cheated at all. Sort of for everyone.
It's everyone, really.
So it's 100% target audience there.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's right. Well, that was the aim,
Yeah, yeah.
It's to get 100%.
Okay, great. So in conclusion about Glass Onion, we all hated it, and
Rubbish,
And
yeah.
we can't understand why it's so well reviewed. And I wonder how many other people are in our position going, "What is going on? How is
I have a theory. Which could make sense and also answer the question why it's rubbish and why it's everywhere and why it's reviewed well. They pay $500 million for Knives Out and any subsequent production. I assume it's not just two. So no matter how shit this one is, Netflix gonna make another one
gonna
because
make
they
another
want
one.
their money's worth, right?
Yeah.
So they did the first one really well. Fine, we'll give you 500 million, but we want the next 5, potentially 15. Cool. Then he goes, well, this is fantastic. What's his name? Ray Liotta. What's his name? Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
So
yeah.
he goes, fine, yeah. Well, I'm going to take my time and write the script. Netflix goes, absolutely, take your time. Just deadline, I guess, is in 4 months. Excuse me? In 4 months. Just we need to keep the momentum.
Yeah.
But that's mental. I can't write something in 4 months. Daniel Craig wants to do it because he loves that accent. He just loves to do that accent. Everyone's in. We got Edward Norton. He was taking a nap for 10 years. Got him out for this masterpiece.
Yeah.
No pressure. And then he tried his best. And he tried to be as clever, because he has to be clever. It can't be an indie film that is like read between the lines. It's very much read on the fucking face. And then he tried his best they could do. Netflix were like, couple of twists, and
tick.
That's it.
I wholeheartedly agree with that theory, because Ryan Johnson, in terms of his canon of films of past, he's clearly a very smart writer-director. And he clearly didn't have enough time to really think about it fully or properly. 100% Netflix would have just given the deadline. Because Knives Out, that script probably was being developed for years, I imagine.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so good.
So I think you're right there as well. I would go along with it, and I think that actually matches up with his previous films, because he got the most amount of stick for obviously his Star Wars film, and that may well have been a similar situation where he didn't have that much time to do it.
Well, it wasn't his original thing. I think that was 100% a studio breathing down his neck. A little bit like now the second Knives Out was, as opposed to him just doing it on his own.
And if I'm looking down, Looper, I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
that
very good.
Maybe was a little bit more time taken. And his debut was a film called Brick, which I don't know if you guys remember. It's with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which is actually another kind of murder mystery type thing.
Really?
Which I really enjoyed. I remember, I don't remember too much about it now, but I remember watching and thinking, oh, this is a really interesting kind of low budget indie murder mystery type film. So maybe that's his preferred genre. And hopefully he'll get back to something a bit more, because he's obviously got talent. But I mean, that was really.
We'd like to think so. Yeah. But there's no question that number 3 will feature Daniel Craig once again.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping they'll make him a bit more like he was in Knives Out rather than this one. This one felt to me like a complete caricature of somebody, and not someone that you're ever supposed to take seriously or be along the journey of finding out the mystery with him. You're just supposed to sort of watch everyone and go, oh, how much fun I'm having, and these crazy characters.
It'd be good if maybe between the second and the third film, whenever that comes out, that the character has knocked his head quite badly and his accent changes back to maybe his own. That would be good. I think they should do that.
You mean his own Cockney accent?
Hello. Yeah. Oh, what, mate? Hello. Yeah, that'll be good. With a little hat.
Little pork pie hat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Right. Well, I think that's everything we have to say about that film.
I think so.
Hopefully, we'll pick one in the future that, for next week that we actually enjoy. In fact, I think we did pick one for next week, didn't we? Which was.
The Menu. Did we decide on that?
The Menu. That's it. That's it. I'm up for talking about the Menu next week.
Yep.
It's a very original piece, so I'll say that.
Okay.
And
and it stars
Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy
as the lead. Okay.
And Nicholas Hoult.
I know absolutely. It's quite interesting. I know absolutely nothing about this film. In fact, I hadn't even heard of it when you mentioned it to me the other day, Michael. So, which I'm quite surprised about. So, I might just not read anything about this and go completely into it cold.
I would. That's a very good idea. That's the kind of film.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Well, thanks for that. I think we've sorted that one out.
Yeah.
Absolute shit. One. If you had to give it a out of 10,
Oh,
I would give it a 3.5
out of 10.
Oof, that is
Yeah,
harsh.
it's brutal, but it's so true. That is so true. Yeah. I mean, I sort of feel bad now. So I want to say 4, but I'm going to stick to 3.5. I agree.
Wow.
It's shite. Sorry.
I will give it slightly higher than that. I'll go for a 5 just because of like the fact that I think most films I would rate 3 I would have turned off, and I actually made my way through this one somehow. I think maybe I quite enjoyed the Kate Hudson character a little bit, and a couple of the.
She was great, actually.
Yeah.
She was really good. She was quite funny as well.
Yeah, so maybe that kept me going. But yeah, I agree. It's not something I would ever recommend or watch again.
And we'll leave it there with the review then.
Yeah.
I'll go with a 5. Okay, sweet.
So our percentage score of all our scores is 38% review of that.
38%.
38%.
A marked difference from
Not great, is it?
from Rotten Tomatoes, which gave it 92.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that I don't understand. I saw that. I don't understand it.
92.
That I can't answer, apart from Netflix having some kind of,
Inside,
infrastructure. Yeah, because I know people like this sort of stuff, but, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, should we head into the phone-in section then?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, great. This is just to give the potential future listeners an idea of what this is. We obviously haven't actually started yet, but people know this podcast is going to be a huge show. This word on the street is call in, give your view on Glass Onion this week, and see, and I'll answer some calls, and you guys will answer some calls as well, and see what people have to say about this film.
Indeed.
Great.
Indeed. I just want to say that this is all over the world as well. I got a ticket for all around the world and put up business cards on all lampposts everywhere.
Fantastic. Good
Just wanna
work.
say that's
Yeah.
great.
So it's not
Took a
just going to
while,
be English or Americans calling. It's going to be all kinds of
Universal opinion.
That's it.
amazing. That's good work, man.
Thank you. It's very expensive. I can't click on it.
I think there's
Is
one
there?
from Germany coming in. Yeah. It's,
You've got a switchboard there. Okay, fantastic.
Oh yeah, here we go. No, I've got it now. It's a guy called Kai. I'm just going to invite him in now.
Okay.
Hang on.
All right, let's say.
Kai, are you there?
Cuckoo. Hello?
Is
Wow.
that? Oh wait.
Can you hear me?
Kai, how are you? Can you hear us?
Yes. Hi. Yes. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic.
What did
Thank
you
you
think
for
of-
accepting the call.
Of course.
Yes.
What did you think of the film, Kai?
Oh, I loved it. I have a little onion shop in Kartoffelstraat in Berlin. And obviously, when I saw a film with onion, I just went ballistic. And obviously, from the get-go, I was very excited. I go in, sit down, and I watch the whole piece. And I just want to have a quick plug, if that's okay, for anyone that wants onions. Come down to Kartoffelstraat in Berlin, and it's 2-for-1 onions for €2.
You're selling onions? Is that what you're
Uncooked
plugging your own
onions.
onions?
Glass onions.
Oh wow! So your business is glass onions?
Isn't coincidence?
Wow.
That's why when I saw it, I was like, "This is incredible." So yeah, love the film.
I'm getting the feeling that. Sorry, what was your name again? Kai.
Kai,
I'm getting the feeling that you. Did you actually watch the film?
sorry.
Did you watch the film?
Yeah. I watched all of it, all 80, 90, 100 minutes. Yeah.
So
Loved
who was
it.
your
Loved
favorite
it.
character in there?
The favorite.
Don't say it was the
character.
glass onion because
Well, if I can, I really want to say that.
So your favorite character was essentially sort of a greenhouse, a building.
the glass onion, yeah.
Eat the glass onion. It's layered, right? No joke though, because it was layered, and it's just you don't have to see the film to understand it. That's what I loved about it.
And is that what you did?
Sorry.
And you understood it without having seen it?
No, I saw it.
Oh right, yeah.
You can ask me anything. I know every single bit about this film.
Kai, are you just calling in to plug your own glass onion store in Germany?
on Kartoffelstraat in Berlin, where you get 2 glass onions for €2. No, I'm not doing that.
Thanks very much for the call, Kai.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks I think we've got time for one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's one from France.
Oh, fantastic. Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. How's it going?
Very good. Yeah. Very good to be here. My name is Pierre.
And tell us, Pierre, what do you think about the film?
Well, I was annoyed, personally. If I go see a James Bond film, I expect to see James Bond and action.
Right.
They've been doing James Bond for 60 odd years, and to see a film with suddenly change the accent of James Bond, I don't understand the creative movements.
I'm just going to stop you right there, Pierre, because
sorry?
I don't think it was James Bond. It's another.
No.
It's another. It's just the same actor, isn't it? But it's another film.
Is James Bond?
It's not James Bond.
Is James Bond?
You keep saying the same thing, but it's not James Bond. So it's
No,
a
you
film.
can. Yeah, you
go
can
on.
sort of tell from
But
the
why
from
would
the
James
title and
Bond
everything.
do a different accent?
Well, I suppose because he's not James Bond, right? It's another character. It's just so.
What?
Do you understand? So if I ask you, do you think James Bond is real?
No.
Okay.
If I go to see James Bond, I see car chases,
Yeah.
guns.
So sorry,
So-
1 second. Let's just Pierre. When did you? So you saw this whole film and you still thought it was a James Bond film?
Yes.
And what? So James. This is James Bond playing a very flamboyant. He's going undercover, is he? As a
Well, that's what I was so confused, because they chose to do a very strange costume, accent, no car chases, guns. Where's the girl he gets at the end? No bad guy. I mean, one bad guy, but not very bad. But very strange. James Bond, glace onion. Odd for me.
yeah, you must have been
1
very
out of
disappointed.
10. They need to revamp Bond in different ways. I get they need to revamp Bond. I understand that, but not this way. Another way. Well, look, I'll say one thing. The next James Bond film, I will not be there. Goodbye.
Wow, well, that's
Amazing.
fantastic. Thanks for calling, Pierre. Do we have
That's
anyone who actually on the lines who understands what the film
I
is?
don't think they've watched the film. These people.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, really. I know. Is it Benoit Blanc calling? Talking about James.
Oh my God, it is. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
No, well, no,
Is it not?
no.
'Cause it says
We
Benoit
do.
Blanc.
Benoit Blanc has it called, but I was going to tell you guys, we managed to obtain some secret recordings
Oh,
of Daniel Craig
nice.
with his accent coach.
That's
And this was
cool.
this was in the lead up. I know as well. We're gonna get all. This is something that people are gonna find out about us. We've got
journalism.
all kinds of fingers and all kinds of pies, and we get recordings of secret conversations supposedly.
in this
just
from.
play-
So open up this
yeah.
folder called Secret Clips.
Yeah.
All right, and then in there's a clip of says Daniel Craig with accent coach. Is that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Come in.
Oh,
Good to see you.
Halabera, it's good to see you.
Sorry, Daniel. We don't have to start the accent just yet. We can, have a cup of tea or.
Oh no, well I like to stay in character.
Okay.
If that's
so
okay
for-
with you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. All right, get started. Obviously, you've learnt the lines. So we'll just go through a couple of them. I'll try and, give some notes where I can.
Okay.
So if I just read the first line out, if you can, Daniel, and we'll go from there.
Well, my gosh, this is the biggest glass onion I have ever seen.
That's a good line. They should have added that in.
Okay, so first, actually, have you read the script, Daniel? Because that's not the first, but I understand where you're going for a bit of improv. Okay, so firstly, where are you
I'm
from?
from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana.
Okay, it's not quite sounding like you're from Louisiana, but you're sort of sounding a little bit odd.
to me at the moment. Did
What?
you get the? Did you get the
I
voice
do
recordings?
declare, I do declare, I spent a good 3 weeks in Louisiana preparing for this here film. I
Okay, so
did
look at-
not, I repeat, did not just watch Looney Tunes.
Okay, it sounds like you
sounds
might have
like you
watched
did listen
Looney
to
Tunes.
Looney Tunes. It
It's
sounds
a little
like
bit
you did
German, a
listen.
little bit sort of Ali G. I'm going to have to get my senior accent coach in for this because this is going to be a tough one. Bob, do you mind just popping in here? Sorry, it's just Daniel.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah,
Daniel
yeah,
in.
sure,
We've got Daniel
sure.
in for the new Netflix
Well,
production.
this is
Hi,
highly
Dad. Big fan.
unnecessary. This is highly unnecessary.
I'd argue against that. Daniel.
In character, I like it.
So this man's been my senior, my mentor for some time. Bob, Daniel, his accent's slightly odd at the moment.
Oh,
I'm wondering
okay,
if we
well,
can
no
just take.
problem.
I'm not sure
No
where to
wonder-
start personally.
You just started, so let's just talk first. Well, first of all, welcome, Daniel. How do you feel? How are you excited about this film?
Well, Charlton Heston, I do declare this
Yeah.
is
Sorry, I'm gonna stop you right. You can just do normal
I'm
accent.
sorry.
You just
I'm
your
sorry.
accent. We just talk us.
This is my, I'm Benoit Blanc.
It's much easier,
Method.
Daniel, if you
Method.
can just talk to us in your own, because and then when we ask you to do the accent, you do the accent, just because we don't get confused.
Okay, fine.
Right. And
Fine,
and
let's do it. Fine.
Right. Okay.
All that work.
You
3 weeks in that
clearly very
shithole.
Well, okay. There's no reason.
Well,
to...
that was my house, Daniel.
Yeah.
So let's not.
When do we get into the coaching then?
Right. Okay. So if you can say, just say a sentence for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say, I am not from Louisiana. Try and say that for me.
You want this as me or?
No, in the accent.
I am not from Louisiana.
Yeah. See what happens?
Yeah, it's perfect.
No, it's.
Elizabeth, can you cancel our 2
Let's get a
o'clock?
fourth one in.
Can you cancel our 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
please? Just because I think it's going to need a bit more time.
Yeah.
One more time, Daniel. Just that last line.
Same line as just now.
Same line.
Yeah. I'm not from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Well, I am not from Louisiana.
Just for fuck's
Can you
sake.
try and say I am from Louisiana?
Well, I am from Louisiana.
I think that's perfect.
Let's just go with that.
I think
to be
that's
honest.
Right?
brilliant.
This
As
is
good
what
as
I've
we're
been
gonna get.
saying.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay. All right. No, fair enough. You're 3 weeks. Okay. Sure.
Unbelievable. Waste
Do we
of
still
time.
get paid? I bloody hope so.
I think so.
Waste of time.
Just do that, Daniel. Just fucking do whatever, to be honest.
That's great.
Well, Halle Berry, there's no need to be so rude now.
Why do you keep mentioning Halle Berry? Is she
Oh,
from
it's-
Louisiana?
It's a quirk of my character. No, I don't believe she is from Louisiana.
Well, there might be a little bit of internet backlash from this, but
It should be fine. We'll send our invoice. This
Yeah.
was fruitful.
Thank you, gentlemen.
It's actually getting better. It's actually after a while when you listen to it and you have no knowledge about Louisiana.
Oh, does anybody want some fresh homemade lemonade?
No, we don't.
I'm good actually, Daniel. Thanks so much.
We're really don't.
Okay, bye-bye then.
Okay,
I think you
bye.
can see yourself out. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Well, that explains why his accent. That tape explains why his accent was never quite there because the accent coaches just sort of gave up quite quickly.
Well, exactly. I mean, clearly they're not suited to their job, and neither is he.
That's true.
I mean, yeah.
They've already signed, probably.
Anyone else on the lines?
Oh yeah, we got the catering guys. Is it the catering guys or the sound
yeah.
engineers?
I think the catering guys are here.
The catering
Bizarrely.
guys. It's catering guys
Wait, what? Who? Which catering guys?
From Glass Onion.
from Glass.
Oh,
Onion,
really?
They hired. Yeah, they hired 2 Italians to make pasta.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and they called in, and they had a couple of things to say. God knows what that is, but
It's strange because it was filmed in Greece, so.
yeah, no.
But they like
Ryan
pasta.
specifically wanted pasta. Yeah, every day.
Okay, well, let's see. Let me see what these guys want.
Okay, good question.
Hello there.
Pronto?
Ciao.
Who am I speaking to?
My name is Giorgio.
My name is Roberto.
Giorgio and Roberto.
Si.
Okay, and I've been told you were catering on the film Glass Onion.
Yes, but this is a big misconception because we were defrauded because we suggest line to Daniel Craig. He took line, said very good line, said line. But we still only get paid for pasta. So we call in to see if you can pay us. My
Refund the money.
please. Our account
Sorry.
number is 45.
Sorry, wait. Well, I'll
mine
just
is
stop you there
47.
1 second. So I'll just stop you there 1 second.
Okay.
You're asking the podcast for a refund.
You are in production with Glass Onion.
Right.
You owe us money.
How much? How much
We
money
make
are you owed?
carbonara
Carbonara, very
every
good.
day for 2 months. And no money.
Right.
Roberto has a genius idea about saying in the film at one point that Benoit Blanc has to say, you did it. And he did. Now where is the money?
Again,
Because
my account number
Wait, so you
47.
had
seven,
you
eight.
had lines.
Eight,
You had
five.
lines in the film.
Here is the Glass Onion. Where Edward Norton says...
Don't touch Mona Lisa.
That's it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Was my
I didn't.
line.
Oh, I see. So they were cut out of the
Cut out.
final
Completely.
film.
Completely.
That must have been disappointing.
Well, yes, because we made the pasta. We got paid for pasta. We made limoncello.
And you were hired to make
it
the
got-
pasta. That's
And
all
we
you
were
were
hired
hired for.
to-
right?
Sì,
The
sì, sì,
pasta.
sì, sì, sì.
Originally, it was of just a food, and then
Right.
we come quick fire crackers. This gold we just come up with, and they use, and then at the end of the day, they only pay for
Not
for
only
pasta.
the carbonara.
No.
See,
Parmigiana.
the lines.
Yeah.
Carbonara
well,
plus lines in the invoice.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed because we don't have your money. But I would like one now that I've got you on the phone. Just let's go over what lines you had.
Okay, so
So
we
I'll-
said,
Yeah, which character are you talking to?
oh, we came up with line for everyone.
The big fat man.
Yes.
Okay, Dave Bautista.
The big fat man.
Yes.
Okay,
Strong.
right, that's Dave Bautista. Okay, what did you
Yeah.
say to Dave
Sì,
Bautista?
sì, sì, sì. See, look over there.
Yeah.
The onion is on fire.
Is that
And
that
he
was
did.
your?
Yes, and when he looked over, he looked at the glass onion, and you could see in his eyes, haha, he thinks he's on fire.
Sì, 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 sì.
Yeah.
And that was
yeah.
Roberto. Roberto,
Roberto.
was,
That's Roberto.
every time. Roberto has this
see.
incredible knowledge about film.
So yeah, you mean when the glass onion exploded?
Sì, 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 sì,
Yes.
sì. Delivered
Yeah.
perfectly.
So there's supposed to be a bit where it cuts to you, and you say,
Look
Oh my
over
God.
there. The glass onion is on fire.
See.
"It's on fire," right? I mean,
And then we said,
surprised that was
they're
cut.
supposed to pass the camera come on me, and I say, barbecue time.
Sì.
barbecue time,
Yes, because the onion is already on fire.
right?
Just put
And
some
we
meat
hadn't
and
seen
make
your
some parmesan.
characters before in the whole film, but then
We-
you were gonna just be suddenly there, just talking about.
Sì,
oh my
sì, sì.
God.
Oui.
Yeah.
Sì.
Right.
Well,
It's a shame you didn't get your money, but I don't know
Yeah.
why you're calling a podcast to get your money back.
The account number
No,
47
no,
58
8-9.
42 74.
My name is Dario, Dario.
Il Roberto.
Sorry, I'm just writing this down so that I can
Yes.
make sure you get your money.
47
47
24 5
5.
What's that? Is that your phone number?
Nah.
That's your postcode.
That's my phone number. Cross it out.
Cross that out.
48
48.
7
Absolute waste of time. 7
4 4 2.
4 4 2. Great. Okay, thanks for the account number. How much do I owe you?
$1 million.
See.
$1 million. That's how
Yeah.
much they were
By
gonna pay you.
today,
Yes.
Amazing.
end of day, yeah.
You'll be getting that in the next 5 minutes.
Wow. That is. Now I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can
For
we get
me,
these
I
guys-
love onions.
Can we get these guys off now, please? 0 listeners from this time.
Is it still 0? There's 1 in the chat. I see here.
Oh, fantastic.
I think that's me.
One
That's
listener.
you.
And tell your mums, will you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I will. She won't listen.
Certainly.
But I'll tell her.
we want to set goals. Like, let's aim for 20 listeners in our second podcast. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me. We will
Pleasure.
see everyone, all of our potential listeners, next Friday for some more chat about the menu and some other phone-ins. Presumably we'll have even more phone-ins next time because we'll actually have some listeners who know what we're doing.
That's it. Apart
Fingers
from my
crossed.
wife. If you're listening to this now and you're joining in next week, I don't want you to call in.
Yeah.
No
wanna make
callers
that
from
clear.
wives, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I echo that to mine too.
Yeah. And there's past them at the fridge. If you have any.
If she does listen, she'll listen to probably 30 seconds and switch off. So
Yeah.
Oh, and we need to
You know.
sort out a jingle. Hopefully we'll have a jingle soon for you guys. All right, guys. See you next
All
week.
right.
Thank
See
you.
you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.